In 1983, I was driving a truck from Chattanooga, Tennessee, all the way down to Oklahoma City. It was right outside of Oklahoma City that I stopped at a Love's truck stop. Love's is probably the best place to stop in Oklahoma, or was at the time. I wanted to get me a fountain drink. This particular one had showers and needed to wash some clothes. Where it was placed was across from a big field that had this tree line. You could tell behind the tree line was a bunch of land. You could sort of see through the trees, and by the time I got there, the sun was just now coming up. Seemed like the safest place to jump in the back seat, get some rest. Been driving for what seemed like years. My eyes were heavy. Back then there was outlaw truckers. Everybody took speed, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't one of them. But for this haul, I was completely out. I was fit to be tied. So on top of this terrible addiction that I had, I was also in a place that I really didn't know too much about. I went and slept for way too long, put me behind schedule. The manifest said that I was supposed to be in Dallas 2 hours earlier than when I woke up. So I actually jumped back behind the wheel of my truck and wouldn't turn over. This sent me into a panic. My mind started to tailspin. I looked outside. Even though I got here right as the sun was rising, it was well in the dark. I popped the hood and checked everything that would prevent it from turning over. I forget what the problem was, but I remember not having to call the shop or having to call my boss. It was something that I could take care of. Again, I was doing a lot of speed in those days. If I had to guess, I'd say it's about 10 or 11 o'clock. It's crazy. I slept for almost 12 hours. But that's what that kind of stuff will do to you. The place where I parked the truck was across from the Love's, where the tree line was. I went around the truck, checked the tires and whatnot. Everything seemed to be alright. Then I heard a rustling behind me. Figured it was a deer or something. Checked the locks on the actual haul. Then I heard the same noise again, but a voice came along with it. Sounded like an old man saying, "Hey, son." I turned and faced the tree line for quite a while, trying to figure out what the noise was. "Hey, son. Hey, son," the voice cried out from the tree line. It sent a chill up my spine, so I turned back down the side of the trailer, heading back towards the cab. Then I heard something break through the tree line. I didn't even turn around to see what it was. Before I knew it, the feet on the dirt were hitting the gravel, and it was right on me. I made it to the truck just in time. Felt the wind from this thing pass by me. When I turned on my lights, I could just see the hind end of it. It had a wolf's tail, a dog's bent hind leg, but it was no dog. It scratched the side of my cab, then made its way all the way around the truck just to come back to the side where unfortunately I was sitting. Then for whatever reason it walked right in front of the headlights on two legs. This thing looked like a werewolf. It had a long snout, unusually long. It looked like a cartoon character. All its features were exaggerated. Its hands were long, had a thumb, but it was very much some sort of a wolf. I felt fear, but then I felt hatred for the creature. I turned on the truck, hoping it would stay in front of the headlights long enough for me to run it over. About this time, it jumped on top of the cab, and I could hear it run down my load, then hit the gravel and run back into the woods. I stayed there until the next morning. Suffice it to say, I lost that job, but I ended up driving for Moish, and everything turned out to be alright as far as truck driving. It would take me a handful of years to get off the speed, but I conquered that too. Now in modern times, they call this thing a Dogman. I still think that what I saw and what all the rest of them are werewolves. Not like Lon Chaney werewolves, but the other kind of werewolf. The ones that you see with all the CGI and computer graphics.